2 weeks ago on SmackDown, we saw WWE reach true equality for how it presents its women wrestlers. Because now not only are they frequently main eventing Raws and getting long TV matches, now, just like the men, they're also being booked in terrible in-ring skits. The offending segment was Karaoke Showdown, featuring Tamina attempting Triple H's theme song, Dana Brooke really going for it, and Lacey Evans legitimately turning heel because she lost. American hero. Lacey Evans. But it seems Naomi's bad booking enraged fans the most, and following her 2-minute loss to Evans last Friday, the hashtag GiveNaomiAChance began trending on Twitter, even garnering attention from outside the wrestling industry. However, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T has said on his podcast the hashtag is for suckers! They can go to hell with all these hashtags. I'm tired of hearing about them. Don't nobody deserve a chance? You have to earn a chance, and your spot on the roster. This is not some kind of movement just to pull somebody up just because. If it happened tomorrow, someone blessed Naomi with the World Championship, trust me, it would not feel like she did it on her own. Don't think anyone's saying Naomi gets the World Championship. Naomi herself responded on Twitter, "Will do, Booker T, thumbs up emoji." That's a sarcastic thumbs up emoji with a gif of Jim Carrey in the movie Yes Man. Sasha Banks, however, had much stronger words for Booker, quote tweeting Naomi and saying, "Don't feed into useless opinions, no matter who they come from. Keep glowing and shining like you always do. You ain't got nothing to prove to anyone. Hashtag Team Bad." Forgot Team Bad was a thing. What do you think of the hashtag GiveNaomiAChance movement? Let me know in the comments because I'll be replying to people from out of the Karaoke Showdown. But like I said, true equality is WWE booking everyone equally as bad. And several wrestlers released from the company back in mid-April have called the promotion out for it. Following their Impact returns and debuts at Saturday's Slammiversary pay-per-view, Tommy Dreamer posted a photo on Twitter with EC3, Eric Young, Heath without the Slater, Brian Myers and Gallows and Anderson, all flipping WWE off with the caption, "Opportunity came a-knocking and they kicked the effing door in. It's about to get real." And it did. Get real, with Eric Young shooting hard on his former employer on Busted Open Radio. The system is broken. It's hard to get a word in. Even when you're doing nothing, it feels like you're fixing people's mistakes all day. There was no creativity. They want everyone to do things the same, and be the same, and bump the same, and sell the same, and there is millions of rules. Those change daily. It's really hard to understand what's going on, and why it's going on. The system is flawed, and I would say that to anyone there. I would say it to Vince himself. Yeah, but I'm sure Paul Heyman booking Raw was a much better experience. The Heyman community! AJ Styles has continued to rip into Paul Heyman on his latest Twitch stream. "I can't be around Paul Heyman. I just can't stand him. You wouldn't believe how many people that I worked with despised this guy because of his lies, and he'd find ways to throw them under the bus when he screwed up. It was kind of hard to find someone who liked him." Tony Khan. Now there's a wrestling booker we can all get behind. Thanks for the money, Tony. Wink. Because now it's time for a review of AEW Dynamite in about 5 minutes. The show opened with Cody and Arn Anderson already in the ring for the latest TNT title open challenge match, which had been revealed as vacant. I love vacant. They only just lost the Impact World Championship and now he's coming to AEW. Oh right, yeah, it's Eddie Kingston, who was really good. The top indie wrestler most recently seen in NWA, not a good sign considering rumours last week the promotion might be shut down, although that has been denied by its owner Billy Corgan, cut a great promo about how he wasn't born into a wrestling dynasty like Cody. He grew up around drug addicts. He got out of that life. He's a grown-ass man, and now he's here to say Cody sucks eggs like a bitch. Our second reference this week to Terry Funk's dusty sucks eggs shirt from the 80s, after Tommy Dreamer's Slammiversary t-shirt on Saturday. This sucked Cody into accepting a no DQ stipulation in what is arguably the most immediately engaging open challenge there's been so far. Kingston's ability to get us immediately sucked into who he is, why he's there, and what his dramatic conflict with Cody is was incredibly effective, and the match itself was really exciting, showing a hardcore side to Cody usually only reserved for pay-per-views, complete with taking a brutal powerbomb onto thumbtacks which stayed lodged lodged in his back while he made Kingston tap in the figure 4. MJF then took on Jungle Boy impersonator Griff Garrison, beating him up through the commercial break, and came back screaming how he has never been defeated and never submitted, after Garrison had brought up MJF's tag match loss. A fun near fall from Griff aside, this was more angle than match to get over MJF's character, and it worked very well. Britt Baker has had nose surgery after it was injured a few months back, so she said she's Michael Jordan, don't count her out, as her comedy sidekicks Rebel and Tony Schiavone tiptoed around her ego. Taz then explained why he threw in the towel for last week's main event. It was a business decision. He needed to protect the injured bicep of Brian Cage and couldn't have him out of action for another 6 months. But mark his words, they've learned from this and it will never happen again. It's a genius sleight of hand. Despite losing his first real challenge, Taz's promo made Cage feel more dangerous than ever, which was enhanced by going straight into a feud with Darby Allin and forming a faction with Taz's other new client, Ricky Starks. The two jumped Allin when he came out, including another awesome powerbomb from Cage onto the stage, which had Jon Moxley make the save with a barbed wire bat, returning Darby's favour from last week. Previously, I wouldn't have been that into continuing the Mox versus Cage feud, but adding in Darby and Starks is enough to keep it fresh. AEW then ran a video package announcing the Women's Tag Team Cup tournament to determine the best women's tag team in the world, the Deadly Draw, for this summer. Hopefully, this means they properly book their women's division now. The Young Bucks and the Butcher and the Blade then had a brilliantly fun Falls Count Anywhere match. Starting in the kitchen where Butcher and the Blade were just preparing some meat. I love their act, they're like side villain characters in a Grant Morrison Batman story. Moving to the outside area where the Blade was super kicked onto an escalator, only the Bucks could defy physics and have someone fall upwards, and concluding in and around the ring, which saw the Blade not only miss the Bucks with a top rope senton to the outside, but also seemingly the randomly set up table he was supposed to go through. The Bucks won with stereo splashes off the top of the entranceways onto both the Butcher and the Blade through tables. This was a wickedly exciting hardcore match, and somehow it didn't even contain the spot of the night, which came next. Rather than have an interview with Alex Marvez using words, Lance Archer chose actions instead, storming into a locker room, beating up everyone in there, and throwing some dude through the roof. Presumably only now realizing they don't have enough women wrestlers for the women's tag team tournament they just announced. Both Ivelisse and Diamante made their Dynamite debuts after previously appearing on All Out and Dark respectively, and they had a pretty decent match, with Diamante picking up a surprise cradle win, which begs the question, why haven't AEW been using them in their main roster women's division until now? Hangman Page then took on the Dark Order's Allen 5 Angles. The great thing about the Order is that they can actually fulfill their cultish promise. Join us and you will get ahead. Just by being associated with them, this turned Angles from a Hangman squash match into a larger, looming threat, especially when Evil Uno led them onto the entrance to watch on before the break. But Page is the best, and with our third beautiful powerbomb of the night, he picked up the win. But while Angles lost the battle, who's going to win the war? As Brody Lee pointed out, Hangman is out here all alone. Where's his tag team partner when he's so obviously in danger? Page turned down an offer to join, so the Order attacked him, where he wasn't saved by the Elite, not by his tag team champion partner Kenny Omega, but by FTR. What a fantastic twist in an already very multi-layered story. Kenny did come out afterwards, but he was too late, and it was announced the Dark Order would be challenging them for the tag titles next week. After Chris Jericho told Marvez earlier that Luchasaurus isn't even a real dinosaur, Whoa, Chris, we know wrestling's predetermined, but there's no need to blatantly lie about stuff. Jericho and Jake Hager took on Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy for the main event. Hager versus Luchasaurus provided some good big hoss work, where Jake once called him a stupid dragon. Stupid dragon. And then Jungle Boy got worked over for the majority, recalling him going 10 minutes with Jericho last December. But the Inner Circle's numbers overcame Jurassic Express, where despite Marco Stunt getting involved, Ortiz clocked Luchasaurus for Jericho to win. At this point, the masked wrestler Serpentico, who had been shown throughout the episode in the crowd, got into the ring and joined in the beatdown, to reveal himself as the returning from suspension Sammy Guevara. The Best Friends and Orange Cassidy chased them all away, and we'll have a Jurassic Best Friends vs Inner Circle 10-man tag next week. That was this week's Dynamite in about 5 minutes. Let me know what you thought of the show in the comments down below, because I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere chanting Super Dragon over and over again. This was an absolutely brilliant episode. Every match was incredibly fun. Storylines were progressed in a big way. The characters are compelling, and lest we forget, Lance Archer threw a dude through a roof. This week's Dynamite was a very, very enjoyable 4 out of 5. WWE is refusing Rey Mysterio a raise. Find out if Rey might leave the company by clicking the video on the right. And Quizzlemania is next Wednesday on Parts Unknown. So whatever you do, don't watch this video. Don't click the video on the right there beneath the video I just recommended. It's not worth it. Don't do it. But do subscribe to WrestleTalk for daily wrestling videos on your homepage. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.